Hello everyone, Olwyn Jennings here, your spiritual guide, coming in with the energies of the week. A bit later today, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. Just been a crazy day so far. And I've needed to spend some time meditating myself and doing some journaling for some issues that have come to the fore as a result of an amazing weekend I had just now at Magical Creators on Saturday, and then with some friends Saturday evening. And no doubt the energies of this portal have also impacted me, as they may well have impacted you. So these are the energies of the week from today, the 11th of the 11th, to Sunday, the 17th of November. So we're starting off this week with a beautiful energy. Yes, it may well be shaking things up a little, but there's a reason for that, as there always is, and we'll come to that in a minute. But as I posted earlier, 11/11 is a very special portal day, and it's really important. If you imagine sort of all your wishes and dreams in this kind of doorway of opportunity going into the light, it's really important that anything that you want to create is positive, is in alignment with your soul and your heart, and doesn't come from ego. 11/11, if you see that number quite a lot, which I know a lot of you do, it's telling you to watch your thoughts, because you don't want to manifest something negative, something that you don't want. You want to manifest something that you do want, but not from your ego, from your heart and soul. So for example, my heart and soul has been giving me loud nudges yesterday and today that something's not quite right. And even though I feel like I've done a lot of the work around this particular issue or issues, there's more to do. And maybe I haven't been completely honest with myself about whether or not that specific area or areas in my life have been resolved from this deep soul position. So it might well be working on a kind of human level, and it might seem to be ticking lots of boxes logically, but deep down, my heart and my soul are telling me something different. So I'm sharing that with you because it may well be that you're feeling something similar. And it makes sense because this is the 11/11 portal, but also we have a full moon at the end of the week in Taurus. Taurus is a very grounded sign, but it's all about getting things sorted out. And it really wants you to make the changes that are needed and to really sort of leave the past where it needs to be left in the past, because you're not the same person you were. Maybe so for example, the thing that I'm dealing with happened a while ago in real life, in reality, and I sort of thought I dealt with it, but I'm not the same person, and as you are not. I'm not the same person I was when it happened. So it's about really seeing it from where I am now, and it's the same for you, but also really looking at it from this soul picture, this soul level. So I combined my cards with this week, or I've chosen one card at least. Thank you to those of you who've already purchased your deck. You've made my launch very special. I know they've started arriving at their destinations, and at the weekend I was also able to give decks to people who had ordered them. And it's very, very special. So thank you so much. And my wish for any of you that have bought this deck or are going to buy the deck is that it supports and guides you in all areas of your life where you need that. These cards speak to you on a real soul level. Anyway, so as you know, I always commune with my guides before I come on here anyway. And then I thought I'd pull a card too, just to see as well, you know, whether it was in alignment with what my guides were saying about the week ahead. And the card that came up was Release Guilt. You'll see in this image, she's kind of standing at the doorway. She's opening the door. She's letting the air into the, I assume, the room or the property that she's in, and looking out into nature. Now, what might that mean? Well, guilt is an emotion, right? And it's a very human emotion. It's linked to our ego. It's not really linked to our soul. Our soul doesn't feel guilty. So it's about letting that go this week. So guilt occurs, doesn't it, when, well, for a few reasons, but one of them is when we feel that we ought to be doing something, that we should be doing something, or we need to change something, or we need to do that, or somebody's expecting this and we don't do it, or we don't feel like we've done it in a way that's appropriate. And maybe that's because it's not actually in alignment with where you are right now. And it's about letting go of that guilt, because it is just an emotion. It's not true. Okay. So wherever you're feeling guilt in your life, perhaps it's a message to you that where you feel guilty is where your life is actually out of alignment. Okay, where it's not making sense to your heart and your soul anymore. Okay. So, you know, I felt guilty today and yesterday for feeling annoyed and frustrated. But actually, I needed to honor those feelings and not feel guilty about those, adding another layer of emotion onto it, and just sit with it and work through it. Okay. So your soul, we need to step into this. We really need to step into this energy of, you are, yes, you are a human, but you're mainly a soul living a human existence. And if you remember that every day, you connect in with your soul and you ask your soul what it needs, what your heart needs, what your feelings are showing you, you know, and when they're negative, they're showing you something that needs to change at that level. Okay, so that's one message for this week. Releasing guilt. Okay, doesn't serve you, and all it does is drain your energy. So what else? So this week I'm going to bring in my guides now, and they'll explain it all further to you. Okay, so hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be here. So yes, everything Colwyn has already said is perfectly valid. So yes, you have the 1111 portal today. Please embrace the light and seek what you seek from your heart, from your soul, from your intuition, and set aside those things that are no longer calling to your heart and your soul, and you will know what they are. They're being really highlighted to you at the moment, and that's not just because of the portal, that's also because of the upcoming full moon on Friday, which is in Taurus, which is a very practical sign. And actually it doesn't really like change, but it's craving for change. It's craving for greater alignment with your needs. So this week is all about honoring yourself. It's about not just putting yourself first, but really coming from a place of what you need, what do you desire, right? At that soul level, what would fulfill you, and leaving anything that is no longer helping you with that, leaving that behind, like really leaving it behind, not even keeping hold of it a little bit, and not feeling guilty for letting it go. So that's another way in which the card might help you. because sometimes you get used to the discomfort and you hold on to something that logically makes sense, but actually, you know, deep down it doesn't make sense, and it's time to leave it where it is. And it's about to, this week's about committing to yourself, but not committing to yourself from a state of fear or guilt. It's about committing to yourself from a state of love. So, you know, if you love yourself, which we always say that you must love yourself first. That's the most important act that you can do for yourself. If you come from that place of love, what would you do for yourself? You know, often actions are taken because they're coming from a place of fear or guilt, but they're not in alignment. But if you take actions coming from a place of love for yourself, then they will be in alignment. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And it's also about facing things and issues that are not congruent with that don't make sense with that. Okay, so maybe some of the decisions you've made in the past are really now are really now being shown to you in a different manner. And that's not about, you know, feeling guilty about making those decisions in the past, and maybe you shouldn't have made them. It's about, okay, acknowledging them and realizing now that perhaps they're not the best decisions for you, and it's okay to change. All right. Because we have this massive full moon coming up at the end of the week, and it is going to shake you awake. So if you haven't made the changes you need to make, then maybe they'll come anyway, and maybe in a way that isn't as easy as it could be. So, you know, this full moon is all about getting your ducks in a row, so to speak, as Olwen would say, but in terms of, you know, following your heart. Because not long after the full moon, we have the move of Pluto from Capricorn into Aquarius, where it's going to stay for a very long time. So it's really about being in alignment with that sort of Aquarian energy, right? That Aquarian energy of flow, of divine feminine, of really being all of you and being your most authentic self. Okay. So this is what this full moon is showing you. So it may well show you some cracks in your life that need to be sorted out this week. And no doubt you've been shown them anyway, but this full moon is really bringing that home. The other lesson from this week is to remember that you are a creator of your own reality, and that looking outside of yourself is no longer working. So looking outside yourself for validation or outside yourself in an attempt to blame others for what's happening is no longer going to work. It all comes from inside you. You have everything you need to make the changes and to make your life how you want it to be. And this week, because you'll have the energies of your level 11 portal for all of the week, really. So just use the energies. Use it as a gateway, as a portal to the life that you want, the life that's in flow, the life where you don't feel guilty and you don't take action from that place. Okay, so we wish you well. Maybe some journaling or some meditation will help you. Okay, so I hope that made sense. Yeah, I mean, that's more or less some of the notes that I wrote down as well. It just feels this sort of harder way of doing things because we feel everybody else wants us to do it that way, or because society tells us we should do it that way. They're really coming to an end. So my guides and I invite you to really connect to your heart and your soul this week in a way perhaps you've not done before, and really go deep into those areas that are being shown to you that need to change. And how you'll know what those areas are is how you feel about them and maybe certain things will happen in your life this week which will make you think about what needs to change for the better. All right, so I wish you a very good week, and we'll be back next week, hopefully at the normal time of 12 p.m. All right, thanks for watching. Let me know how it resonates. Bye for now.